So when you get dropped off by bus in the morning, you get dropped off along here, along the football field where the buses are, and you'll walk over to the school to be able to go in. This is one of our hardworking janitors. Do you want to introduce yourself to the kids?
This is a hard job, huh?
A hard job.
It's a pretty hard job, huh?
They keep our school nice, but we like students who also keep our school nice by picking up trash and not dropping things in the hall and not chewing gum and things like that.
That helps a lot. They help me.
This is the front of our school, and so when you get off the school bus, you can go ahead and come in through the front doors. Everyone has to wear a mask, so masks are required. And you usually go in these doors right here and come on into the main hallway. So when you come in, here is the nurse's office. So if you're not feeling well, you would go to the nurse. This is our nurse, Mrs. Gillespie, and she's a great nurse. This is the main office. This is Mrs. Allison. She is the lunch secretary. What else are you over?
Odds and ends, I guess. Communications, Xerox machines.
She puts out the newsletter, good things like that. This right here is Mrs. Bishop. She is our registrar, so she handles your transcripts and enrollment and things like that. Anything else you'd like to let everybody know that you handle?
No, just here to help.
Okay, sounds good. Over here, we have Mrs. Unger. Mrs. Unger sells hat passes for those Fridays when we've been good and we can have hats. She does all other kinds of things. She does a lot of things for the teachers and the administration. What else do you do, Mrs. Unger?
I just do my job. Take care of kids.
All right, this is our principal, Mr. Rettig. Give everybody a shout out.
What up?
This is one of our vice principals, Mr. Carr.
Hi, guys.
He's actually in Mr. Rettig's office, but his office is right there. And right here around the corner, we have Mrs. McDermott, our other vice principal.
Oh.
And I'll take you down and show you her office, just in case you ever have to go to it. It's down here, kind of more in the dark corner. That is Mrs. McDermott's office. Throughout the school, we have little hand sanitizers stations that you can hand sanitize. When you come in the main entrance and you turn right, then you come down and it is the counseling office. Right now, one of our counselors is home teleworking. That's Mrs. Gould, and she is alphabets A through L. We have our school social worker, Miss Allen. She is right there. And then my office, Dr. Price, is right here. So if you need help with things, go ahead and come find us. This is our computer teacher, Ms. Merschel. And in 8th grade, you'll have an opportunity to be able to have computers. This is the beginning of the 6th grade lockers. This is called the 6th grade hall because all of the 6th grade lockers are down this hall. This is Mrs. Mendez. She is the art teacher. So you might get her in 6th grade and then again in 8th grade. She has a very colorful room. This is Mrs. Kemp's class right here. This is Mr. Kinsman's class, and he is actually, this is his very first year here at Spring Creek Middle School, so we welcome him. This is a 6th grade math teacher, Mrs. Hamilton, and she is in here. This is Mrs. Peterson. She is a 6th grade social studies teacher. And we have two Mrs. Petersons. So we have Amy Peterson and Bobby Peterson. This is Amy Peterson. There are two doors the sixth graders use to go outside to the trailers. And there are 4 teachers out here in the trailers. On this side, the very first trailer closest to the road, we have Mr. Karsrud. He teaches English and read-write. And then we have Mrs. Bronstadter, and she teaches science and I believe read-write. Then we have Mrs. Tanner over here and Mrs. Reagan in this trailer. Mrs. Tanner teaches social studies. Mrs. Reagan teaches English. I believe they might both have read-writes as well. And so this is our field. We're able to come out here for lunch. When after lunch, they usually give you 15 minutes maybe to come outside and hang out. And so you'll come out of the lunchroom doors right there. And then you get to have this whole field. We do have really nice field that you can play on at lunch or talk to your friends or whatever. We have a garbage can that we'd love for you to use. No trash out on the field. You can't have any food out there. This is the Family Consumer Science room. So when you're in 7th grade, you actually get to do a semester of Family Consumer Science. And they have kitchens where you get to cook and sewing machines where you get to sew. And this is Mrs. Demick, the teacher. So here is the girls' locker room. This is the door from the hall. And you come in and we have the lockers. Once again, you do get assigned a lock, so you don't have to worry about that, but you will share a locker. And this is Mrs. Rogers, the female PE teacher. This is the showers, all of those kind of things. Once again, you don't have to take a shower. And then this door is the door that actually leads out into the gym. So you come out here and go into the gym. Okay, so down this side, we have the 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Gross. She is a science teacher. And we have our 6th grade math teacher, Ms. Guthrie. See into her classroom. There are doors down both of the halls right here that take you outside to the 2 sets of trailers, the classrooms that are outside. This is Mrs. Davis's classroom. She teaches design and modeling and some of the technology classes. I think she's over there teaching. This is Mrs. Young's class, and she's actually got some kids in here working. Around this corner is Mrs. Peterson, Bobby Peterson. She is the study hall teacher, the in-school suspension teacher, and the credit recovery teacher. We have a music room that has both our band and our chorus classes, and today it's Mrs. Hanson in there. Mr. Hanson is probably over at the high school, so Mr. Hanson does band and Mrs. Hanson does chorus. And you can see, looks kind of empty right now without all the instruments and the kids. Down this hall, we have one access, a set of doors to the lunchroom. And there's a set on the other side. The music room is kind of in the middle. This is our gym/lunchroom. It's a very nice floor. We have the janitor, another janitor taking care of the floor. When we do lunch, you'll come in here in that window back there. They'll have options for you to have lunch. If you brought your lunch, you can just go ahead and sit down at a table. And there are 2 doors into the boys and girls PE locker rooms. So this is the one into the boys locker room, the one that comes through the gym. And you come back here and we have the boys locker room right here. The bathrooms. We've got the locker room, the lockers. You're always assigned a locker with a lock. Mr. Malky, our PE teacher. There are showers, but you don't have to use them. Most people don't use the showers. And then there's also a door out here into the hall. So this door goes into the boys' locker room. Down this hall, we have multiple teachers. This is Mrs. Sanchez. She is one of our robotics teacher and our math teacher. This is Mrs. DeWitt. She is a 7th grade English teacher, and she also teaches a class about World War II and the Holocaust. And so she's just right there. This is her class learning right there. This is Mrs. Stilling's class, and she is a 7th, 8th grade English teacher. And we actually, I believe that she has a student teacher right now. So her student teacher might be teaching some of the students. Down here, we have a 7th grade math teacher, Mr. Holland. So he's got like the big gigantic TV right there. Mr. Holland. And across the hall is actually Mrs. Sosi, and she is a 7th grade social studies teacher. This is Mrs. Talmage. She is an 8th grade math teacher, and she teaches just 8th grade. This is Mrs. Alleen's class, and Mrs. Alleen is actually out for medical purposes, and she has a long-term sub, and it is actually Mr. Stilling. And so he teaches life science for 7th grade. This is Mrs. Ross's class. She is an 8th grade science teacher. She teaches earth science. We have 2 sets of bathrooms in our school. One is down this hallway, the boys' bathroom. And we've got the girls' bathroom down there. And there's another set down in the 6th grade hallway. This is our library right here. Mrs. Esco is the librarian. We have a lot of books. So it's a great place to come and be able to get books for your English or your read-write classes. There's all types, and Mrs. Esco is really good if there's a certain kind of book that you like or an author or a genre that you can ask her and she'll help you find that. Mr. Mendez is a 7th, 8th grade science teacher. And so this is his classroom, and you could get him in both 7th and 8th grade. This is our science lab here. So in 7th and 8th grade, the teachers come in and do things with microscopes and dissections and all kinds of things. This is Mrs. Walls's classroom, and we have Mrs. Heath back there, and they actually have some students in here doing great student stuff. This is Mr. Estrada. He is an 8th grade social studies teacher. Oh. We have another one of our janitors. She's out there cleaning the windows. We have great janitors. This is our 8th grade health teacher, Mrs. Albisu.
Let's see.
So she has a
Stress.
cool
Tell
room, and
me,
she does
Bethany.
stuff about stress and all kinds of things. This is Mrs. Malky. She teaches 8th grade English. So she's like actually reading a book. This is Miss Mo, and she teaches both 7th and 8th grade history. This is her very cool classroom. This is our fabulous foreign language teacher. She teaches Spanish. We actually have an advanced Spanish program, and so you can take Spanish in 7th grade and then also in 8th grade. We do have a school resource officer. He is not in his office right now, but this is his office down by the library. If you start walking back towards the main entrance, we actually have a 6th grade read-write teacher, Mrs. D'Arietta, And so this is her room. So you might have her for read write. You have to see her big gigantic pants on the wall because those are pretty funny. At the end of the day, we go out to the buses and the buses line up along the football field. The buses have other routes to do, so you have to go out pretty quick. Don't dawdle so that you won't miss the buses. And you just go back over to the football field. The buses will be lined up. There should be about 18 buses lined up from our school to the high school. We'll have a picture of an animal so that you know which bus is yours, and they're always in the same order.